an intro to a sort of anecdote? Say, my first Prime Minister, Winston Churchill.
Well, she's got this marvellous sense of humour, hasn't she? And she's all supposed to be a very good mimic. And when they all gather together at festivals, she absolutely makes everybody fall apart because she gets the accent and the words absolutely right. So I think she enjoys that sort of thing by getting you off the road before she goes into what she wants to say.
Yeah, and we were talking a little earlier about, because you've chronicled so many of these things, those relationships with prime ministers, and those prime ministers have been rich and varied, from Churchill through to Johnson now, but via Harold Wilson and his pipe, and working class lad from Liverpool, and Macmillan, an aristocrat in his own right, pretty well. It has been a phenomenal array of people with whom she's had to deal, including two women, Thatcher and May.
Yes, I think she always looks for the good in people. She's not a person who
That
wants
proved
to
trickier
be.
with some of them.
Well, I think it has been, yes. I know when there's been some heads of state who've come and she's decided that she really doesn't like them, and she's hidden behind a bush in the garden, or she's tried to, get out of the way because she really doesn't want to spend any more time with them. But her thing is really to get people on board.
Yeah.
She has an instinct.
But it also, bring David in on that, but you stick with it as well, Angela, if you will. Some of those tricky world leaders, forget prime ministers for a moment, but I was looking at it the other day, whether they've stayed overnight, they've certainly had state visits. Sadat of Syria, Putin of Russia, Ceausescu of Romania. I mean, some people you would cross the road to avoid, not cross the road to shake hands with. She has to do it because the Foreign Office tells her to.
She shook hands with Martin Guinness. That is the moment, I think, where bearing in mind what he had done and the IRA had done to her family, and that's an act which very few of us would have been capable of. I wouldn't.